Hey everyone. Well, today we are going to drill down on exactly how this business really runs. And what we're going to start with is lead generation. So this module is all about the process of lead generation, actually showing you how we go about generating the leads. Later we'll have videos on the other 5 steps, which of course include qualifying those leads, presenting the offers, following up on those offers, and closing as quickly as possible. So I think it's important to understand that these 5 elements to Ron's system are really the pillars to your success. And if you fail here, you're going to fail at making money. These are the critical steps. And I want to warn you of a trap that's out there. And it's somewhat counterintuitive, but let's call it the goal trap. You know, everyone says to focus on your goals, begin with the end in mind, know what your goals are, and I think that is important, but they need to be that focus needs to be contained to a degree, because really you shouldn't focus on your goal, but you should focus on the process of achieving your goal, which is exactly what we're going to begin to do in this module. You know, we all want major dollars and abundance of money and the freedom that comes along with having all that cash, the ability to follow our dreams really. But dreaming about your goals and meditating about your goals is something that does have to be contained. You have to focus in on the process of achieving them. And it's really the process that counts. And it reminds me of a story. So my daughter's doing a gymnastics meet this weekend, and of course she wants to win and wants to come in first place. But over the last couple of weeks, I reminded her of something that I learned very early on as a youngster. When I was a little kid, I wanted to be a martial artist. I wanted to be a black belt. And in growing up in Chicago, there used to be this program called Samurai Sunday. And it was on Channel 66, and they had all the dubbed movies that would come on over and over again, and I just loved them. I begged my dad to take me to the local martial arts school where I could learn to become a black belt, and I was just so excited when we actually went to the dojo. And we got there, and when you walked in, it was a scene right out of one of these movies. I'll never forget it. And, you know, I've always been influenced by Asian culture from the time that I was young. Eastern philosophy, some of the business books that are out there, they're very good things to get involved with. So tremendous respect for Eastern philosophy, and I think this is in that vein. But my dad and I walk into the dojo, and the teacher looks like he's right out of one of these kung fu movies. He's got the man bun and the Fu Manchu mustache. It smelled like incense in there, and there's a big gong in the back. I mean, it really had that flavor of a real kung fu studio. So we sit down, and I'll never forget, his name was Mr. Kim. Mr. Kim says, "What can I do for you?" And I told him immediately, listen, I want to become a black belt. That's my goal, to become a black belt. But what I need to know is, how long is it going to take me to become a black belt? And I'll never forget, he says, for you, 10 years. I said, 10 years? Well, wait a minute, I want you to understand my work ethic is really strong. If I work out very hard, then how long will it take me to achieve my goal of becoming a black belt? He looks at me and says, you work very hard for you, 20 years. So I said, wait, let me make sure you understand this. I'm going to eat, live, drink, and breathe martial arts. There won't be any time that I'm not thinking about the forms that I need to learn. There won't be any time that I'm not embracing the idea of improving my ability to become a great martial artist and to become a black belt. If I do all those things, then how long will it take me to become a black belt? And he looks at me and he goes, for you, 30 years. So I'm thoroughly confused. I look at my dad. My dad looks at me, and my dad intervenes, and he says, Mr. Kim, how come every time my son says he's going to work harder at achieving his goal, you tell him it's going to take longer to achieve his goal? And this is the part that I'll never forget. Mr. Kim looks at me and looks at my dad, and he says, Mr. Sangerman, your son very hard worker, but your son have one eye focused on goal, only one eye left to focus on process of achieving goal. If he focused both eyes on process, the goal will come much more quickly. And that's a lesson that I've really never forgot. Let's know what our goals are, Let's see how we're doing measuring our performance against those goals. But let's hone in on the process of achieving those goals. And that's what this is all about. And it all starts with lead generation. So for purposes of this series, as it relates to lead generation, we're really going to focus in on 3 elements. The first is this phenomenal FSBO Field Scout program. I want to show you exactly what happens with respect to that. The second is the yellow letter campaign. Take you exactly through how we run our yellow letter campaign. And then the use of VAs for following up on Craigslist ads that you or an assistant or a different VA will send in to your calling VA to qualify those prospects as yes to terms. So we're focusing in on lead generation here. I'm going to take you down to my office now, and we're going to do a little bit of a demo on the computer. So let's do that. Come on.